This is a team, Marco, that, boy, when they're clicking on all cylinders, not saying they're going to win the title. I'm just saying they're going to be in the mix here. Indiana has moved to -8.5 just in the last hour. So we're talking -8.5. I get where you're going with this one. This is a Fever team that's pretty impressive. Looks like Boston and Caitlin Clark are going to play tonight. They always listed as game time decision, but they're probable. So I think you get the full squad. How do you break this game down?
Yeah, you're going to get the full squad for Indiana, but you're not going to get the full squad for Dallas, and that's the reason you're seeing this line move the way it is. Dallas is going to be thin at the guard position tonight. Now, they will have Paige Beckers, but, when you're going against Indiana, you don't want to be thin at the guard position because you got probably the best dynamic duo as far as scoring threats at the guard position with Indiana, with Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell. And Kelsey Mitchell, my God, okay, she is playing like a player possessed, and she is playing like somebody that, let's put it plainly, she's pissed off that she got left off the World Cup team. This is a player that's putting up MVP numbers this year and is not on the team. I can't understand it. And she just keeps putting points up. So Dallas is going to have their hands full. In the style that Dallas plays, they like to go at a fast pace. That's great, except if you're going against a team that likes to go in a fast pace as well and does it much better than you do. This is an Indiana team that scored 100 points in 7 of their last 9 games. They've shot over 50% from the floor in 8 of those 9 games. And like I said, with the 3-headed scoring monster, it's bad enough you got to, worry about Mitchell and Clark. Then if you snooze on either one of those two, and Caitlin Clark is very good at passing the basketball, what happens is you hit Alea Boston inside. They're going to be a hard out for anybody in the playoffs. I have them in the top 4 in the WNBA this year, and I think they roll in this game tonight. And throw one last stat with you as far as Dallas goes. When they played the previous game at home and they head out on the road, this is a team that does not perform well. They're just 2-8 against the spread this year in that situation. And you got a team that's not playing good currently. Remember, going into the All-Star break, Dallas was one of the hotter teams. They've come out of the All-Star break 2-5 straight up and against the spread. There's only one way to go. It's Indiana, but act quickly because you're losing value because this line keeps going up.
Yeah, agree completely. The Wings burned me the other night. I had them against, the Tempo. They were up 18 and then somehow managed to blow it at the end and not even get the cover. So not a team I'm excited to bet on. All right. Well, since you're breaking down WNBA, sometimes you just have to break down the game that's left on the schedule. And we have the Storm and the Fire. Let's just say not a lot of fire in the Portland Fire these days. And the Storm are not exactly storming to the top of the rankings here. Got to break it down. What are you doing with it?
Well, you guys send out the schedule for the week of, who's doing what. And I just saw the game that I had this one. First thing I thought of, did I piss Dan off or you, Andy? And then I looked at the schedule and I said, oh, no, okay, they're not mad at me. There's only 2 games today. Portland and Seattle. Yeah, this is a game that's, when you look at this one, they just played last Saturday, okay? And Portland got the win, 100-93. Portland, obviously, one of the 2 expansion teams this year. They're 2-0 against Seattle. Now, I look at that last game last Saturday, and it was the final game of a 4-game road trip for Seattle. And it was one of those East Coast road trips, all right? So we always talk about, these teams in the WNBA and the schedule and how bad sometimes the travel is. So not a favorable spot. And, they lost by 7. They gave up 100, but they did put 93 up. I think they can turn it around here. Now, the Seattle defense leaves a little bit to be desired. They've allowed 92 or more in 8 of the last 10 games. but I got to be honest and point it out. First of all, Portland's defense is not good either, but look at the Seattle schedule. And over that 10-game span, where they gave up 8 out of 10, 92 or more, they played in that 10-game stretch Minnesota twice, Indiana twice, and the New York Liberty twice. That's a pretty impressive WNBA list that they have faced. So this is a team, I think, that the public perception is, overreacting to what they've been doing lately. And it's more a sense of what the schedule is. And I think they get the job done tonight when they play this one. One other thing is whenever they played last week, if you look at that last game, they lost 76-72 to Golden State as a 9.5-point underdog the game before they played Portland. How many times have I talked about it? When big dogs come up just short, I want no part of them in the next game. Oftentimes you get that flat effort, or as we like to say, lose the same game twice. And I think that was the case. So let's flip the script. Look at Portland. Look at what they're coming off of. Their last game, they were a 12.5-point underdog to Minnesota. And just like your game the other night, Minnesota did have a big lead in that game in the third quarter. But Portland comes storming back and only lost by 4 as a 12.5-point underdog. I think they come in here flat tonight. I'll go ahead, take Seattle, get the job done. It's one of those ones you got to hold your nose, though, when you make that play, because these are two ugly teams in the WNBA.
Yeah, I actually weirdly like the over in this game. These two teams are just pretty horrible on defense, but not complete disasters on on offense. So, all right, Marco, what do you have up? I know we got the deli. What else we got going
Deli
on?
will be coming out. We'll be filming that within the hour when we get off here. I've already got up one. The premier play for tonight is my 4% baseball underdog game of the week. My last 4% was on Wednesday night. It was an easy 5-0 winner on the Chicago White Sox. We got 4% tonight. I will be adding to that. We'll be having a WNBA player prop tonight. We were looking at a couple other baseball plays that can make the card, and then still finalizing if we're going to do anything in football tonight. We did hit our football play last night to start the season. So we, just like everybody else, whenever the new season starts, we all start at 0-0, and when you win your first play, baby, you're 100%. We're undefeated for the season. So good start there. But seriously, guys, if you want to come on board, the way to do it, if you just want to go for the short term, the best deal is grab the 3 days for $69, and you get 3 bonus days. And that's going to be ending soon, guys. Little tip for you. If you want to grab that, do it now. And then if it's football season, we've got a lot of different offers. You can pick up the rest of 2026 for all sports for $7.99. You can grab an NFL package or a college package or the combo package. And don't forget, Bet On It is out. We did bet on it this week, the first show. And if you watch the show, you'll be rewarded with a special coupon there if you want to take advantage of a football package from the members of Benot, myself, Yanni, and Kelly. You can check that out. Head over to our YouTube channel. There's a college edition and an NFL edition. And, man, football season's back because we're already getting everybody yelling at us for what plays they don't agree with. And that's what makes it great. Everybody's got an opinion. We'll see who's right at the end of the season.